Today we have with us our Honorable Chief Secretary of Government of Telangana, Sri Dr. Rajiv Sharma garu. He has been initiating a lot of activities in improving the quality of technical education, particularly when he was the Commissioner Technical Education way back in 90s. He actually did a lot of reforms in the technical education. Now he is heading the entire bureaucracy in the government of Telangana, and particularly Hyderabad has achieved one of the world's best IT destinations in the entire globe itself, and we want to request him how we can take Hyderabad to the next level in improving the quality of education, in bringing more investments in the information technology area, particularly in the manufacturing, electronic hardware manufacturing, how government of Telangana is going to address some of this thing. So we now request our Honorable Chief Secretary, Sri Rajiv Sharma garu, to tell about his plans for government of Telangana. Good morning, sir. Sir, we know that what you have done during your tenure as Commissioner of Technical Education, the importance which you are giving for improving the quality of education. But of late, we are seeing that a lot of people who are coming out of the institutions, they don't have basic standards of engineering education. We may have a lot of jobs here, but our people may not get the jobs because they are not qualified to work in those companies. So in that scenario, what are your plans to improve the quality of education in the state of Telangana?
Thank you, Mr. Chaudhary. You asked a very pertinent question because starting from 1990s, when we started expansion of technical education, mainly due to privatization and growth of private engineering colleges, the total number of places or seats available in engineering colleges rose very dramatically. And a point reached when practically the supply outstripped the demand. Well, education is not something which is purely market driven and demand and supply kind of a thing should operate. It is something which has a larger motive. It has something which has strategic goal for the society to improve the stock of technically qualified young people in the country and particularly in our state. So we are really concerned with the quality of education and the quality of the graduates which are churned out by these institutions. So we have taken a few steps recently after the formation of Telangana, and I'd like to briefly elaborate on one or two of those. Firstly, we are very strict about quality of faculty and facilities in these engineering colleges. So we started inspecting them, and the universities which are affiliating them have been given clear kind of a mandate that they should not affiliate those colleges which are not having adequate facilities as per the norms prescribed by the AICT, by the university and so on. As a result of that, a large number of engineering colleges could not qualify in this basic test, and they were not given affiliation. It reduced the intake also in the engineering colleges, but we are not worried about that because we want quality engineers to come out in as many numbers as is possible rather than focusing only on the quantity. So that is one major step that we took this year, and I'm sure one initiative of this kind, where we ensure that colleges have infrastructure and good faculty, will certainly contribute to producing engineers who are having quality. Because the way they are taught in the colleges, that is the most important
Yes.
factor in shaping them up. Secondly, another initiative which we want to take is we want to make the education relevant to the needs of the industry. So this industry-institute
Yes.
interaction, we want to promote, we want to give more focus to it than given in the past. So we are in touch, as you know, with the captains of the industry. We are trying to see that the boys and girls who are studying in these engineering colleges, they get best of the interaction in as far as industry is concerned. And the syllabus, the training, the type of instructions which we give them in these colleges should be tuned to the needs of the industry. So that is a second intervention which we are vigorously pursuing. The third one is quality of teaching, syllabus, content and so on. And along with that, the formation of a core committee of experts and those who are really concerned with the issue to look into these things and give recommendations which will be implemented to bring out quality in the field of technical education, particularly in Telangana.
Thank you, sir. Particularly, you studied in one of the prestigious schools in Carnegie Mellon. You did your PhD from that university.
Yeah, I did my PhD.
The research and development in those universities versus in India. India, hardly there is any application-oriented research is not at all happening on this thing. In the new wave of things which are happening even in the IT industry in India, unless you get into the product development and IP development, we cannot survive as an industry. So how you can bring that kind of a system, what you studied, you did your PhD from a great university, how do you bring that aspect into our education system, particularly universities like JNTU, Usmania? These universities should compete with such great universities. Do you have any plans in that direction?
I think the fundamental difference between the universities in US and some of the other developed countries and India is that there is a tremendous focus on research right from the undergraduate
Yes.
level in the universities abroad. And somehow we lack in that in our colleges. The emphasis here is on textbook learning, rote learning, passing of exams, which perhaps does not bring out the creativity
Yes.
among the students. So, the model which I would recommend is that the research should be an integral part of the studies, and students should be encouraged to be creative, to bring out this element of research in their upbringing in these colleges. Secondly, the research has to be industry driven again.
Yes.
Most of the US universities, you will find, and as you are very well aware, the industry sponsors
Yes.
the research. Even blue sky research, cutting edge research is done on the initiative of industry rather than the government or anybody else. So I would urge upon the industry and those who really are well-meaning in as far as our quality of education is concerned, to promote this aspect and sponsor research, be in constant touch with the universities and colleges, and take up research projects in which students can be involved, and that is how we can really develop new products, we can develop new things rather than churning out our engineers for only coding and things of that type.
So this core committee which you mentioned, if you can chair the core committee, and some of the suggestions which you mentioned, if once in a quarter the core committee where the stakeholders, as you rightly said, the industry, academic and the government sit together, evolve what is the practically possible. Maybe you can take some pilots, 2-3 colleges under the JNTU or maybe one Usmania University, and do a pilot and systematically see that the pilot is successful. That pilot can be implemented across the state of Telangana. So is that a possibility, sir?
Yeah, I fully appreciate your concerns and I welcome the suggestion which you have given. in spite of the constraint of time, I would certainly love
Yes,
to
sir.
the committee. And there are a lot of things which can be done, particularly by coordinating with different departments in the government and different spheres of industry and trade and other things. There is a lot which can be done to improve the quality of education, to make it relevant to the needs of the employers, and see that not only the employability improves, but in general the economic growth, because education is an engine of economic growth. So I'm sure if we do all this, we'll be able to do things in a very meaningful way. I'm all for it.
Thank you, sir. So, under the leadership of the Honorable Chief Secretary, Government of Telangana, we certainly see that Hyderabad, particularly IT industry in Hyderabad, will take on to the next orbit and compete with any global cities. The kind of product development and new startup initiatives, all that depends on the raw material. The raw material engineering students who are coming out of the engineering schools in the state of Telangana, if that improves, obviously Hyderabad will go to the next orbit, and we are really thankful to have Sri Rajiv Sharma Garu to be the chief guest of today's CSI Golden Jubilee celebration. Thank you so much, sir, for coming. Thank you, sir. Sir, Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji is now talking about Make in India program, wherein he wants to bring the investments in the IT hardware sector, where they can manufacture either cell phones or set-top boxes, and a lot of employment creation investments are also planned to happen in Make in India program. So what is the plan in promoting that industry in the state of Telangana?
Well, in general, we have a new industrial policy to promote industry in Telangana in a big way. But specifically coming to the IT-related industry, I would say that we have a special investment region about which you know, which is known as ITIR. And we are now trying to have a policy as well as some kind of a zonal planning to locate the cluster ITIR in a way that it promotes a integrated, a harmonious kind of development in that area, where the industry can come, both manufacturing as well as software. And it should also go hand in hand with the other infrastructure facilities like social facilities, social infrastructure, similarly housing, and so on. So our plan is to promote this in a comprehensive way, in a very scientific manner, with a planned approach. And there will be the usual promotional activities on the part of the government, like incentives may be there, similarly provisioning of land and physical infrastructure in the form of water supply, electricity and so on will also be there. So we want to promote the industry in a big way, and particularly the hardware related industry, which will promote the growth of IT industry in general in Hyderabad in future.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.